Hello everyone and welcome to Module 6. I'd like to take the opportunity this week to discuss a little bit as usual about the assignments and the to-do list for our Module 6 as well as introduce you to SafeAssign. Alright, so this week in your module we will be focusing on quality in healthcare as well as health informatics, community nursing, and then those challenges that professional nurses with the role as a baccalaureate nurse face sometimes with health needs of an at-risk population. Let's go to our to-do list here. As usual, you do have a few chapters to read, some of those entire, some of those in part. We do have 2 web lessons here that we would like for you to complete that focus on quality care in healthcare. And then as usual, for the assignments that are due that week, we have the Creative Professional Identity Project Guidelines and Rubric. Just to give another little summary here, make sure you read this section here in the beginning to end that goes over the expectations for the assignment, and then also the rubric is at the bottom of this page. One of the things I do want to be careful to mention, since it's the week of the assignment being due, is that the faculty must be emailed for approval of other ideas that are not listed here in the guidelines. It's perfectly okay for you to create your project outside of these recommendations, but we do ask that you email us to clarify, either myself or Miss Lindsay, if that will be acceptable. We did also 2 weeks ago and last week discuss in the video about opening these media tools to use one of them for your project. So I hope that all of you have learned to use one of these to complete and execute your project correctly. And most important with this assignment, we really want you to have fun. This is sort of a laid-back assignment that gives you the ability to be creative, self-reflect on your future as a baccalaureate prepared nurse, as well as what you are doing in nursing right now. The rubric is quite simple and focuses only on creativity as well as expression of self-reflected identity. So if you focus well on these 2 parts of the grading criteria and use the suggestions as well as media tools that we recommend, you should do well on this assignment. Next, your submitted assignments for this week are, as usual, the discussion and reflection, and then, as we just discussed, the Creative Professional Identity Project. There are some additional resources that we have listed here that you are more than welcome to incorporate into your discussion this week for resource integration and review, of course, to help with your learning on quality care, informatics, and community health nursing. For your discussion board this week, we would like for you to describe how nurses could be better utilized within your community. So we want you to describe a telehealth application that you would like to invent for this role in order to improve access to healthcare. What that means is think about your community, what you believe is missing with regard to nursing and informatics, and think of something that you would implement in your community to help healthcare of patients in some way. It does not have to be general healthcare. It can be very specific and focused. It does not have to be in the area that you practice. We just wish for you to choose something as your invention and describe some of the challenges and or advantages, facilitators, and barriers to this type of application. Now be careful here in your response post. One of the things that Miss Lindsay and I are noticing is that we're having some problems with all of the parts of the response or primary post being executed. If you do not complete all of the parts of the discussion, you will get points off in your discussion grade for that week. This week, we would like for you to find somebody whose telehealth application differs from yours, share some professional information on how you would enhance your classmates' community nurse role or telehealth application. So just talk to them about how you think you could add to help them better their application. And then include the resource and or reference from which you learned this information. You need to post that for the student to review, and then also ask them 2 questions to encourage further reflection of your classmates' perspective. As usual, you will be submitting your assignment for the Creative Professional Identity project here. This is your link for your assignment. Next, I wanted to talk to you about SafeAssign. SafeAssign is a plagiarism checker for students of universities, of community colleges. Many colleges in the United States and other countries use this to help encourage students to use safe referencing, safe citations, and paraphrasing. It is also a means for instructors and professors to cross-check any work that you do with other writing. SafeAssign will use thousands and thousands of databases to cross-check your work. This includes any assignment ever submitted to UNCW, other universities that partake in SafeAssign, as well as professional writing, almost every evidence-based journal, books, you name it, it will cross-check all of your submissions or all of your references with your submission. So you want to be careful that you are safely referencing and citing, okay, and direct quoting if necessary using page numbers. But remember that too many direct quotes and too much referencing and citations is just as bad as not having enough. In here on the left in your toolbar is the SafeAssign check right here. Okay, this is basically a preliminary SafeAssign check for you to use as many times as you want before you submit your final paper. The goal will be 30% or less referencing and paraphrasing. When you submit your assignment into the SafeAssign database, it will cross-reference with all of those databases and manuscripts for any referencing citation, and it will give you a percentage of what your referencing is. So you're going to click on the preliminary SafeAssign check. You can either handwrite your submission here and submit it, or you can simply browse your computer and add your attachment. Be sure that the document that you submit is the SafeAssign accepted files. None of you should be submitting anything other than a doc or docx, simply because we require that Word be how you submit your assignments in this course. When you have attached your submission, you can submit, and it can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 30 hours for your submission to come back. If you are having the problem of not receiving a submission, I would recommend trying again, because there are computer glitches as with any system, and usually this does not take more than 24 hours to complete a response. Once your submission has been cross-checked, the SafeAssign will pop up with a percentage. You simply need to come back into the SafeAssign link here and go into your preliminary SafeAssign check, and it will come up with a score or percentage somewhere in the area here that you can review your percentage with. If you get a higher percentage than 30%, then you need to consider revising what you have written in your paper, removing some of your references or adding more writing of your own. If you're getting less than 10%, then you probably want to think about adding more references or adding more citations to help support your position in this paper. I will be looking at every student's score when I grade them. The score and percentage will be a part of your grade. So if you have a lower than 10% or a higher than 30% referencing, that will be configured into your final score. All right, I believe that is all I have for you today. As usual, if you have any questions and or concerns, please don't hesitate to put those in the course question and answers, or you may email me. And also, if your question is urgent and you need to speak to me right away, you can always text or call me on the cell phone listed on the syllabus. Thank you so much.